Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
We have Drew Gaffney on the line from Broken Bow and Burwell Livestock. And I'm going to ask Drew a bit of an odd question to start out the show here because he likes to talk cattle mostly, wrestling quite a bit, basketball. Drew, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Question. Have you ever made chocolate chip cookies before?
Well, not as good as my mother's, but yes.
You have made them. Well,
I have made them.
Okay. Just so you know, we're breaking news here on the Breakfast Show this morning that they're in the works here at KCNI KBBN is a chocolate cookie contest.
Oh, wow.
I was thinking maybe you might be interested in entering some of your cookies, but you cannot have your mother make them and turn them in.
Okay.
Can you do it?
Tell you what, people, prepare to be schooled.
Love the confidence.
Oh, man, it's cold out, Drew. What are the guys and gals doing out there with the cattle busting tanks and putting out cake and hay, I suppose?
Well, I tell you what, we've got a lot of guys calving, and it is brutal. But, hang in there. We'll get through this. A couple days left, and it looks like we're going to have a great stretch of weather.
Yeah, sure does. Sure does. We'll be going up like 60 and 70 degrees and in temperature, and I know calves have a little trouble with that too. So it's always a challenge out there, but a lot of good cattle out on the area here that you're working with different guys and gals. So tell us what's been happening at the barns. I know things have changed up a little bit due to the weather, and give us your full report if you would, please.
Yep, we'll give some updates. Last week we had 2 big days in Broken Bow and Burwell. Broken Bow on Thursday had a big run of those weigh-ups. Had high-yielding cows was 145 to 156. Feeding type cows was 138 to 145 and a quarter. Poor and thinner cows was 135 to 138, and on the bull market, we just didn't have enough bulls to really make a test there. I called that market fully steady, maybe $1 to $2 higher on those white fat cows. Then we got back into the Burwell. We had a big feeder calf market, big run there with a lot of replacement heifers there on Friday. Can't tell you how we got along there. In the steer division, we had 445-pound steers at 402.50. Had some 521-pound steers at 360. Had some 648-pound steers at 320. And had some 769-pound steers at 282. Got in the heifer division, we had some 743-pound heifers at 306. Had some 794-pound heifers at 285. Had some 750-pound heifers at 294, had some 691-pound heifers at 301, and had some 812-pound heifers at 289. That's how we operated last week back there in Broken Bow and Burwell. This week, today had the bull sale scheduled there for Cedars Top Ranch. They had postponed that sale. It's going to be next Monday in Burwell, same time, but just mark that if you're planning on going on that sale. They canceled for today and postponed it to next Monday. This week in Broken Bow, no sale on Thursday. We are not going to have any weigh-ups. No feeder calf sale. We're going to push all that the consigned feeder cattle back to next week on the 28th. So no sale there on Thursday in Broken Bow. No weigh-ups either. So just mark that down, no sale period. And back on Burwell on Friday, going to have bred cows and bred heifers going to start the weigh-ups. We'll start the weigh-ups at 9 o'clock. Be on to those bred cows and heifers right there at 11:30. And we do have a baby calf or two consigned to the sale there on Friday. So if you got any questions, give me a call, 308-872-1105. And we also like to wish all the wrestlers that punched their ticket down to state the best of luck, both girls and boys. And also like to wish all the schools heading out to district playing basketball the best of luck.
All right, Drew, thanks very much. Stay warm as you can, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, and if you guys get off your shift today and you're not doing anything, I know a couple guys would be more than happy to have you guys out in the cabin lot with them.
Oh, well, that's a great offer. It'll be a great experience, but we have quite a bit to do today, Drew.
Good excuse.
Talk to you later. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, well, first of all, we wouldn't be much help. Secondly, it's cold out there. I think we wouldn't be able to handle it as much as we'd like to with those guys and gals out there who have been working in it, but it's going to get better, as Drew mentioned. We're looking for temperatures in the 40s and 50s next week.
Wow.
It's crazy, isn't it? Figure that's quite a temperature swing.
Yes, it is.
This just in, I got my phone buzzed, and it says here from Willard.
Oh.
Is this cookie contest just a way for Brent to get more treats? Question mark.
That is a good question. I'll be honest, folks, this is breaking news for me, too. I honestly really don't know what's going on.
Just came together yesterday. And the sales team's going to be out selling sponsorships to the chocolate cookie contest, and there'll be some great prizes for the winners.
So the chocolate chip cookie bake-off, huh?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, and we'll be the judges.
Really? Well, I'm liking this idea of a promotion even more and more.
Yes, we will be the judges. The way I understood it yesterday, unless they change things up a little bit. Now, the question with this, we don't have a lot of time here. We got to roll.
Yeah.
The question with this, can you, do you allow nuts to be in the chocolate chip cookies? Because I know some people do that. Is that a pure chocolate chip cookie with nuts in it? Those are controversial questions that will have to be answered before we actually get the contest going. But I believe a chocolate chip cookie should be a chocolate chip cookie with no other interference as far as the ingredients go.
Yeah, I think that's probably the way you got to make it, isn't it?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and besides that, there's a lot of people out there that are allergic to nuts.
Yes.
Larry Cotner, for one.
Yes.
Put him in the hospital if he even gets close to a cookie with a nut in it. All right, let's see here. Let's roll. We got a lot of changes here due to the weather. Maybe we should do that first, if you would.
Sure.
And I have the screen over here if you want me to do part of it, Brent. Otherwise, let me know. No.
Okay, yeah, I think we can roll through them here. Hit the refresh button. So here we go. And Smyrna Public Schools closed today. We'll kind of talk basketball a little bit later. We'll just give you the basics here. And Smyrna Public Schools closed today. Ansley Public Schools are closed. Arcadia Schools are closed today. Arnold Public Schools are closed. The Blaine County Courthouse in Brewster will be closed today. Broken Bow Schools are showing a 10 o'clock start, no morning preschool. Drew earlier, Broken Bow Livestock, their special calf and feeder auction has been postponed, rescheduled for February 27th. Callaway Public Schools are closed today. The Central Community College Learning Centers in Ord and Lexington are both closed. Let's see, Cozad Community School is closed today. Cozad Head Start is closed. Custer Christian School in Broken Bow right now showing a 10 o'clock start for this morning. Dawson County Courthouse in Lexington posting that they will open at 10 o'clock this morning. Gothenburg Senior Center will be closed today. Other announcements that we have been informed of: Litchfield Public Schools are closed today. Loop City Public Schools are closed. Loop County Public Schools in Taylor closed. No school, no activities. Mid-Plains Community College, the Broken Bow campus, is closed today, and it also says all MPCC locations are closed. Myers Iron and Salvage in Broken Bow closed today and tomorrow due to the extreme cold temperatures. Overton Public Schools are closed today. Prairie Pioneer Center in Broken Bow closed today. Sandhills Public Schools in Dunning are closed. Sargent Schools are closed. Sherman County Senior Center in Loop City closed today. Stapleton Public Schools are closed. SEM schools closed today. Thetford Public Schools are closed. And I think those are the ones for kind of our immediate area that are showing up on our list here this morning.
All right, thank you very much. This announcement brought to you by Custer Public Power, Ansley Lumber, Hunter's Towing, Taylor Heating and Cooling, Fixed Right Auto Body, and Edward Jones, all making these reports possible this morning here on KCNI KBBN.
Tips for weathering winter storms brought to you by Custer Public Power. If the power goes out, notify your utility of the outage. Have an emergency kit prepared to help you and your family weather the outage. Some items should include bottled water, non-perishable food, flashlights, a weather radio, and extra batteries. Use alternative heating sources safely and only venture outside if necessary. If you do go outside, treat all downed and hanging lines as if they are energized. Stay safe this winter season. These tips brought to you by Custer Public Power.
Just like technology and all of this talk about AI, the world of construction and home design is always evolving too. At Ansley Lumber and Supply, they are committed to having the very latest in materials as well as the tools you need to tackle the job. Wanting to get in on the barn-dominium craze? Well, Ansley Lumber and Supply has everything from the plans and framing to the windows, insulation, and shingle material you need. If your project is a little smaller than building a new home, they have what you need for those too. Ansley Lumber and Supply. Visit them on Main Street in Ansley.
When you're stranded on the side of the road, there's only one number you need to know. That's Hunter's Towing at 870-1983. When you call at any time of day or night, Hunter and his faithful dog Scooter will be on their way. Hunter is based in Berwyn, but you'll rarely see his trucks there. You'll see them out serving the citizens of Custer County and the surrounding area. 870-1983 for Hunter's Towing.
Cold weather. It comes around each year. Where it should not be making an appearance is inside your house. If it is, that's when you need to call Taylor Heating and Cooling. Because Mother Nature brings the coldest, nastiest weather to Nebraska, you need to bring Matt and Andy your direction to get your system running at peak efficiency. Call 308-872-6196 for sales, installation, and service from Taylor Heating and Cooling. Call 308-872-6196.
When our cars and trucks hit that nasty patch of ice in the winter, there's not much we can do. You can control what you do with that damage, though. If it's a smash, crash, smack, ding, dent, scratch, or a tap, Fixed Right Auto Body and Broken Bow can help. We're winter weather's #1 enemy. Just call Fixed Right Auto Body and Broken Bow for a free estimate today. 872-6860. That's Fixed Right Auto Body at 872-6860.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized for you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situations change? Hi, I'm Janet Lawhorn.
And I'm Tim McCaslin.
Your local Edward Jones financial advisors. When we work together, we'll focus on what's important to you.
We'll create a personalized financial strategy backed by our advice, tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we'll partner to help your strategy stay on track, no matter what happens. Contact us today at 308-872-6849 or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
749. Thanks to all our sponsors who have brought you those postponements and cancellations due to this very cold weather. Let's play the game real quick, and then we'll be visiting with Logan from Arrow Seed. Good morning, Logan, by the way.
Morning.
All right, it's Tumbleweed Day on the game, so we're going to give you a chance to actually win a free food item from Cracker Jack Sports Bar and Grill, connected there to the Tumbleweed Cafe. So here's your question for today. This has to do with weddings because it's National Wedding Month. Some American couples freeze the top of their wedding cake. Why did this practice start? Was it to help them be sweet to one another? People thought it would bring the couple wealth or children because it was a symbol of their love, or people thought it would bring at least 1 year of happiness. Some American couples freeze the top of their wedding cake. Why did this practice start? Was it to help them be sweet to one another? People thought it would bring the couple wealth or children because it was a symbol of their love, or people thought it would bring at least 1 year of happiness? If you know the answer, call us at 872-2801.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
Just want to let you know that I love the show.
I love what you guys are doing in the morning. It makes my day so much better.
KCNI, KBBN Radio.
Tumbleweed Cafe in Broken Bow offers delicious food in a family-friendly atmosphere. Open 6 until 4. Don't miss daily lunch specials and the Sunday buffet. Need a quick bite? Express breakfast is 6 to 11 Monday to Friday, and express lunch is 11 to 2. On the go, pick up a ready-to-go casserole for busy nights. For evening cravings, visit Cracker Jack Sports Bar and Grill. Open nightly from 5 to 10 with specials, appetizers, and snacks. It's all waiting for you on East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
7:51, we have a caller on the line. Didn't get a chance to preview the call, so let's find out who we have on the phone. Good morning. Who are we talking to?
Sammy?
Sammy, how are you?
I'm fine outside of being cold.
Yes.
It's chilly out.
It's cold out there. Maybe we can warm you up with a prize here.
All right, here's a question. Some American couples freeze the top of their wedding cake. Why did this practice start? Your choices are to help them be sweet to one another. People thought it would bring the couple wealth or children because it was a symbol of their love, or people thought it would bring at least 1 year of happiness.
1 year of happiness.
Well, no, that's not what this says. This says people thought it would bring the couple wealth or children.
Really?
I don't know.
Well, the heck
But
with that.
you know what? It's so cold outside, Sammy, that we're going to make you a winner because you called in here this morning. So we're going to put your name on a certificate that's going to get you a free food item at Cracker Jack Sports Bar and Grill, connected to the Tumbleweed Cafe here in Broken Bow. So when you can, come on out, see us, and we'll have your certificate ready for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Hey,
Thanks,
thank
Sammy.
you.
All right. Logan,
Morning.
question for you.
What's up?
At Aeroseed, you have these big warehouses. And having some previous experience years ago of being in a warehouse, how cold are warehouses?
It's a refrigerated storage right now.
I bet it is. I know something about a big space like that when it's really cold out. I know it breaks the wind. It certainly helps, but it's cold in those warehouses, so the guys got to keep moving, I imagine.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so.
Well, good luck, guys. Keep up the good work, right?
Yeah. I commend everything they do out there when it's this cold.
Yeah.
Because it's not climate controlled in there.
No, it's what
cold.
it is.
It's
Yeah.
climate cold.
Yeah, that's what it is. So keep up the good work, guys. I know that the seed has to be moved, whether it's cold or hot or somewhere in between. So what's on your mind this morning, Logan?
Well, listening to the question this morning, so Renee and I actually went to a wedding this weekend.
Oh, really?
And it was a couple that we've been friends with for a while, and they're actually like radio enthusiasts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is it, the shortwave or the ham radio or whatever you want to call it?
Okay, those kind.
So the actual ceremony itself was just kind of whatever, but the reception was excellent.
Ah, nice. That's good. I'm glad he had a good time.
Yeah. Thanks, Logan, for that one.
Yeah. So anyway,
I'm thinking gloves would come in real handy right now, especially warm ones.
You're not kidding. It's been cold, but it's been cold enough the past couple days that politicians have had their hands in their own pockets.
That's good for a change.
Yeah, that's how you know it's cold.
Well, don't enjoy that fact very long, Logan. As soon as it warms up enough, they'll be back at it again.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
We do. We have a great selection of gloves. We've got some really good insulated leather gloves. And I got to tell you, I've had the same pair of Toughmate leather insulated or lined gloves probably going on 5 years now.
Gee, that's good wear.
Yeah, there's not much leather left in a couple of the fingers, but they still stay warm.
Wow. Well, that speaks for itself then.
So,
boy, nothing worse than cold fingers.
No.
where you can't feel anything, and you can actually do some harm if you don't have good gloves. So
cold fingers and cold toes, I'm done.
yeah,
Like that's
well, you're cold everywhere then.
yeah,
Right? Yeah.
Unless I'm ice fishing, then I can probably power through for a little while before I have to get the heater out or the hand warmers out.
Yeah. Well, recreation or work, you've got gloves for all uses out there. So
We do.
Yeah.
Yep. And we still got the Geyer gloves, the heavy duty, fencing gloves that last a long, long time and put up with a lot of abuse.
All right. Right on display on the floor there in Narrow Seed. The birds, my goodness, have they been busy. They know when it's cold they have to eat more, and they just are hard at it right now.
Yeah, birds, squirrels,
Yeah.
turkeys, deer, pretty much everything right now is full feed.
Yeah. Got to consume a lot of food to keep warm.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I have finally seen some finches out at my house. Just within the past probably week or
good.
week and a half.
Good.
So they've started moving in, at least at my place. So
Hey, you have any cardinals out there?
haven't seen any cardinals this year yet.
We have a pair of cardinals at our place, and I didn't realize that sometimes they're a little bit aggressive with the other little birds.
Yeah,
And when they're eating, they really don't like company sometimes.
very much so.
So we have lucky enough to be able to watch a couple of cardinals, and they come to the feeder, and the squirrels have been hitting the feeder along with the birds, and just a lot of that going on out there. So if you need seed, Arrow Seed has it, right?
We do, and I think Jason got some more a variety of stuff coming in too. We ran out of sunflower hearts, which we mix with some other stuff to make our finch blend, which is great for the small, the small birds.
Yeah.
But we do also have some wild bird mix, which is a little bit of everything. Back in the day when you were a kid and you went to a soda machine, and you just get one of everything. It's that's what wild bird mix is. It's just a little bit of everything mixed together. So there's something for everything.
All
for,
species.
Yeah, for all birds,
Yeah.
small birds, big birds, medium birds. All of them.
It's fun to watch them, and when the snow's on the ground like it is now, some of them really show up, especially like those finches that you mentioned, and the cardinals, or some of the migrating birds that come through have a lot of different patterns, and I think birds are great to just kind of pass a little time and watch.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were scooping snow the other day, my 5-year-old and I, and right around the bird feeder, he saw the tracks in the snow. He goes, "Dad, that's the smallest turkey ever." It was cute.
Well, yeah, he's got hunting on his mind.
He does.
Yeah,
he does. So, but yeah, it's bird season or feeding season, I guess you could call it.
Yep.
It's fun to watch them.
It is a lot of fun. Bouncing around here just a little bit, I know that you had the soil gathering last week, and how'd that go?
It went good.
Good.
It went really good. We had a pretty good turnout, and the speakers were excellent.
Good. Well, now that there's snow on the ground, we have a little bit of a waiting period. When we didn't have snow, it seemed like you could plant seeds. Some of your cover crops and different things, and maybe some of the conservation acres out there, I think you could actually put some seed down.
Yep. Yeah, you can frost seed right now pretty easy. And so what frost seeding is, there's no chance of the seed germinating now, but Mother Nature will essentially plant it for you just with the natural freeze and thaw throughout the late winter and early spring.
All right. And you guys have mixes for all of that?
We do.
Okay.
We do. Yep. So I will say one thing I learned at the soil health conference we put on. One of the speakers was really in depth, and he's done a lot of research on dryland farming and the process to make it more profitable. What works better. Why is dryland so hard? Well, it's because it's dryland. You might get rain, you might not.
Right.
But some of the research he did, the top couple inches of soil is the most in-depth or the most sought after in a dryland situation. And if you don't have the porosity or the pores from root mass or anything like that, it really hurts your water infiltration and how that soil stores the water. So if you can keep something growing on that dryland to keep those pores open, basically, you're going to have a lot better water holding capacity and storage
Right.
for subsequent crops.
Yeah, it's amazing all the different ways of thinking about it, but it's changed a lot in the last 5-10 years. Realizing just what you said.
Yep.
Keep something in that soil that's going to break it up a little bit.
Right. You wouldn't think anything of it. It's like, oh, it's the top couple inches of soil. How important could it be? It's the key to successful farming in dryland situations.
Okay. All right. So again, folks, AeroSeed has some different varieties that you can put in, different ways you can do that, different times of the year, and I know you'll be able to sit down and talk with them about it right now during this time of year, making plans for next year, this coming spring, I should say.
Yeah, it's going to be here in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, it is.
And hopefully we get some moisture.
Yeah, we really need to have that because dry land is, that dry word's pretty big one.
Yeah, and this snow, unfortunately, is probably not going to add a whole lot of moisture to anything. It's pretty light.
Very light, very dry.
Yep.
600s overnight last night. Maybe squeezed that out of an inch or so. So yeah, we don't have a heavy wet snow on the ground, which is good when it comes to scooping.
Yep.
That also brings up the fact that you guys can help, even though this is a
we
dry
can't
snow.
help. We can't help scooping.
No, I don't know. No, I know you don't want to scoop. I understand that, but you can help people from slipping.
Yes, absolutely. We've got plenty of ice melt on hand. We've got the shaker jugs, or we've got the 50-pound bags. Maybe do the nice neighborly thing, put some out on your neighbor's sidewalk, especially if they're elderly.
Yes.
And are having, maybe have some balance issues.
I'll go over and put some on Brent's to help him out. Thanks for reminding me of that. I don't want him to slip and fall.
Be sure to charge him adequately.
Oh, I will. Product plus.
Hey, you don't have to be afraid of that. I'm sure the bill will be high.
Well, you take the product times 3, and then you add labor.
You probably better add some mileage too.
Oh yeah, I'll probably have to go around the block.
Across the street, brother.
I'll just drive around the block a couple times.
So glad you came in, Gerardin.
Is there anything else that you wanted to highlight before we close?
Last thing I want to touch on is we are looking for help up in the retail store.
Okay.
And it's a great place to work, great benefits and hours, and it's not super hard work. It's busy work.
Yeah.
But you might learn something.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to learn up there.
There is.
Yeah.
There is. So if you're something you might be interested in, either full-time or part-time, I think we're pretty flexible on that side of things.
All right. Very good. Logan, thanks a lot for coming in. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hope that your day goes well, and guys, stay warm out there.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
We'll take a break. We'll come back with news after these words.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
My day starts right.
With Dave and Brent.
February is Heart Health Month. Melham Medical Center wants to be sure you are heart healthy. We have 4 cardiologists that visit our specialty clinic on a regular basis. Dr. Fruling, Dr. Balwans, Dr. Dasuki, and Dr. Cookman. Save a trip out of town and make an appointment at Melham Medical Center with our cardiologist team right here at home. Call 308-872-4157 to schedule your appointment in the specialty clinic. We look forward to partnering with you to inspire healthy living through quality care.
Hi, this is Andrew from Pearson Physical Therapy. Did you know we offer dry needling? Have you heard of it? Are you curious if it might be right for you? It often gets compared to acupuncture, but there are definitely many differences. Our goals in therapy are often pain reduction and improved mobility, and that's just what dry needling is all about. Come talk to us, and we can see if it's right for you. 872-5800, or stop by and see us on West Highway 2.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News special report. The big chill between the U.S. and Russia is showing signs of thawing out. After a meeting in Saudi Arabia today, Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the U.S. and Russia have agreed to restore staffing at their respective embassies in Washington and Moscow.
The goal of today's meeting was to follow up on the phone call the president had a week ago and begin to establish those lines of communication. The work remains. Today is the first step of a long and difficult journey.
Rubio says they've also agreed to appoint teams to negotiate an end to the war in Ukraine.
The five of us that were here today are going to remain engaged in this process to make sure that it's moving along in a productive way.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky not there. He insists his country will not accept terms if it is not included in negotiations. The State Department says Rubio and Sergei Lavrov did not set a date for a Trump-Putin meeting. CBS News Special Report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Here's a look at Nebraska news. In a story released by KSMB, Grand Island Police said Monday afternoon that they had responded to more than a dozen weather-related crashes, including one that sent a driver to the hospital. GIPD said a vehicle was traveling eastbound on Capitol Avenue when it lost control and hit a traffic pole just west of Hancock Avenue. Police said a witness reported that the driver was going too fast for the weather conditions, passing the person on the outside lane. GIPD said the driver was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The person was cited for a citation for no seatbelt and driving too fast for conditions of the road. This has been a Nebraska News Update. I'm Jack Simpson reporting for Central Nebraska's news source.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Steve DeSager.
At hockey's Four Nations face-off in Boston, the U.S., which was 2-0 in the mini-tournament, lost 2-1 to Sweden. The Swedes had already been eliminated thanks to 2 overtime losses. The Americans had already advanced thanks to those 2 early wins. Canada advanced to play the Americans in Thursday's championship thanks to a 5-3 victory over Finland. The Canadians were up 4-0 in the third period. The NBA is off until Wednesday's makeup game, Hornets at Lakers. In men's college basketball, number 3 Duke was a winner at Virginia, 80-62. Duke's record now 23-3. 19th ranked Arizona was a winner at Baylor, 74-67. Auburn is ranked number 1 for the 6th straight week. Florida is up to number 2. The new number 1 in women's basketball, Notre Dame beat number 11 Duke, and number 8 ranked Ohio State won in overtime against Iowa. Mike Trout of the Angels is switching to right field to try to stay healthy after 14 years in center.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Extreme cold warning continues until noon Thursday. A winter weather advisory continues until 6 p.m. tonight. Snow likely today, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Highs level off around 3 below. Northeast winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. 1 to 2 inches of snow today through tonight. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Designed with pride, sold with integrity. That's Palmer Monument in Broken Bow. Their staff is trained to assist you in the decision-making process. You'll know you're getting a result built from the very best workmanship and the highest quality of materials at Palmer Monument, Broken Bow.
It is 9 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. Let's go outside right now and see what it really feels like as Jack Simpson, Jack Frost himself, is out front observing the weather. Jack, what's it feel like out there?
Pretty chilly outside this morning, negative 10 degrees outside with cloudy skies. Winds aren't much of a factor. They're showing 5 out of the northeast. Barometric pressure is at 30.43, a humidity of 78%, a negative 21 degree wind chill, and it is lightly snowing outside. In the last 24 hours, we picked up 600ths of precipitation. The precipitation for this month is up to 3,800ths. Did get approximately about an inch of snow overnight. High yesterday of 4, overnight low of negative 10. Sunrise today was at 7:29 and sunset today at 6:16.
All right, Jack. Does it really feel cold?
Yeah.
Hey, Jack, can you do me a favor? Take a deep breath in through your nose and tell me if it kind of pinches your nostrils.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
Hey, well, if you have a problem, Dr. Jacobson is right inside the door there from Click Family Healthcare. You can ask him what you can do about that problem of the cold air going through your nose. It could cause a problem.
Yeah.
All right. Would you want to come inside?
I would very much love to come inside.
I can't believe it. I got to be honest with you. If it was me, there ain't no way I'd be going out this morning. I'm like, tough guys. I'll just look outside and give you the current conditions.
Oh, he's a ranch kid.
Yeah, he is. That's true.
Thanks, Jack.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll get Dr. Jacobson in here from Click Family Healthcare right after these words.
I love the morning show. Wake up with us. We sound way better than this. KCNI KBBN Radio.
When you need to gear up for your sports endeavors, go to the place that has it right in their name. Geared for Sports in Broken Bow. They can get you ready for the field, court, track, mat, diamond, whatever. Shop their wide selection of items, and if they don't have what you need, talk to Scott to see if he can get it for you. Sports gear, athletic wear, footwear, and everything in between as at Geared for Sports, located on the west side of the square in Broken Bow.
Hi, this is Andrew from Pearson Physical Therapy. Did you know we offer dry needling? Have you heard of it? Are you curious if it might be right for you? It often gets compared to acupuncture, but there are definitely many differences. Our goals in therapy are often pain reduction and improved mobility, and that's just what dry needling is all about. Come talk to us, and we can see if it's right for you. 872-5800, or stop by and see us on West Highway 2.
Got hay on the brain? Vermeer knows the feeling. They've been thinking about hay and forage for more than 50 years. From the first large round baler back in 1971 to today, Vermeer continues to pioneer and engineer high-quality hay tools for every step of the haymaking process. Mowers, tedders, rakes, balers, bale processors to mixers. All supported by your local dealer, Power Solutions, and backed by Vermeer. Give Power Solutions a call at 872-5522 or stop out 2 miles east of Broken Bow on Highway 2 and see what piece of yellow equipment will make your life more golden.
At Burning Bank, we believe in the power of community. When you shop locally, you're not just buying products, you're supporting your neighbors, boosting local businesses, and helping our community grow. Every purchase you make keeps the heart of our town beat stronger. Burning Bank has been part of the Broken Bow community for 20 years, and we take pride in assisting our customers and communities to build, grow, and thrive. With our easy-to-use banking services, we make it simple to spend smart, save big, and invest in the places that matter most, right here at home. This year, choose local, shop small. Together, let's continue to build a strong and vibrant community. Build, grow, thrive. Burning Bank, member FDIC.
8:13 is your time. Thanks for listening to The Breakfast Show. We appreciate it. Also want to remind you, before we visit with Dr. Jacobson, that we'll be giving away a $25 gift card today to RT Ace Hardware here in Broken Bow. And we have just one question. Towards the end of the show, we're going to ask you about RT Ace Hardware, but we're going to talk about them and all the things they offer here along the way as well. Dr. Jacobson, Click Family Healthcare, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
What do you think about Jack? Was he okay when he came in? Did you check him out?
His cheeks were a little rosy. But when I walked in, he's sitting in the lobby and he was dressed properly. So
good.
It looked like he was layered up.
Ready to go. Does layer up. Well, as we mentioned, he's a ranch kid, so he knows how to dress up to go outside, I guess. But with that kind of in mind, I bet you've been busy with a lot of colds and flu and all sorts of different things.
We have. This year, seeing a lot of influenza. I announced the other day that, it's the highest rate of influenza we've seen in like 15 years.
Wow.
Still seeing a little bit of COVID, but it's predominantly influenza A, which kind of is acting a little bit different than normal. And typically when you get influenza, you have a fever of 102, 103. This year, 100, maybe 101, but still getting the body aches, and seems like a lot of GI stuff with it. So the big thing to remember is if you think you have influenza, one, you can write out the symptoms, just treat them. Or two, there are a couple medications that we can use as long as we get them started within the first 48 hours. One of them is Tamiflu, which has been around for a number of years. That studies show it decreases the symptoms by about 24 hours. There's a newer one called Exofluza, which is a 1 pill, 1 dose. And the people I've given that to feel like it's within 24 hours, they're well on their way to recovery.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting. When we opened in Kearney 7 years ago, I think we gave out 300 flu shots our first year. When COVID hit, I was stuck with about 80 doses. I think we ordered 100. We gave out like 20.
Yeah.
This year I ordered 20. We gave those out. I ordered another 20, and I think I still have 15 left. People are just very leery of getting influenza shots anymore, and I think it stems back to COVID.
Yeah, I'm afraid
the
you're
fear
right.
of is there COVID vaccine in there, and it's like, no, this is just influenza. But for the people who have got influenza, typically they're the first ones in line next fall to get their flu shot.
Yeah,
because they remember how bad they felt.
Well, yeah, I think that makes sense. You go through the pain and the struggle, and you don't want to do that again, right? I know sometimes we still get confused. I think it's a lot clearer now, probably since COVID, but influenza definitely is very serious because it's respiratory, correct?
It can be, yes.
And we have a lot of stomach ailments out there that we sometimes call the flu, right?
Correct. Yeah, influenza is a whole different animal than quote unquote the flu. Influenza, typically you're going to get that 102, 103 fever. You're going to feel like the truck ran over you, but they backed up to make sure they hit you, and then they ran over you again. A lot of times severe headaches with them. Cough, especially if it settles in the lungs. This year there's been more reports of pneumonia, secondary to influenza infections. And then you can also get GI issues, nausea, vomiting, and a little diarrhea. But kind of the main thing is, one, it hits you acutely.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a cold, that's going to come on gradually. You'll have stuffiness, congestion, and then you might start to get body aches or whatever. But influenza, typically, I'm feeling fine an hour later. I feel like the truck hit me.
Terrible.
So that's kind of a differentiating thing that people need to keep in mind. If you have those symptoms, again, you can get tested, or classic symptoms. Typically, we'll just, if you want an antiviral, we'll either get you Exofluza or the Tamiflu, or you can ride it out.
Yeah.
Tylenol, ibuprofen, push the fluids, plenty of bed rest, those kind of things.
Okay. This question is probably unfair because I don't know how you would probably answer this, but I'll ask you anyway. A lot of folks, my wife included, and I guess maybe when I went through it, this cough situation, there's a lot of people that are having these coughs with whatever they had. Can't get rid of the cough. Have you talked to folks about that?
We've had a couple people who've had a cough for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And it just seems like it's ended up having to burn itself out. I mean, we've done a lot of them. We did either Tamiflu or Exofluza. Then we've done steroids. Then we've done an antibiotic. We're using prescription cough medicines, and it still just seems like it hangs on and hangs on and hangs on. In addition, we've done things like decongestants to help dry up any drainage, just make sure it's not a tickle in their throat.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been kind of a weird year with that. Maybe it's RSV. I don't know. I've never seen RSV in an adult, but maybe that's what it is. We just don't check for it.
We don't check it out.
If you watch TV, it's got to be RSV.
Yeah, everything is. I agree with you there. Well, it is that season, and everyone's different. It seems like with the ailments, but a lot of kids out of school and a lot of adults.
Yeah, we've seen that in Kearney. We've seen it in Broken Bow. We've seen it in Amherst. It doesn't matter what school. It's just once it goes through, it goes through.
Yeah.
I was hopeful that when we get a little snow, that would settle down some of the things, and it has as far as more the allergy type symptoms.
Yeah.
But now with the fluctuating heat and cold, we're starting to see more of the viral stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And with our customers, a lot of times they'll call and say, I think I need to be seen. I think I have a sinus infection, whatever. And as we talk through it, it's more than likely viral. So most of our customers know 3 to 5 to 7 days. If you get better, then you get worse. Yeah, we need to get you an antibiotic, but let's treat it like a virus to begin with. just because I don't like to put people on antibiotics, we don't have to with the resistance that we're seeing more and more of, especially kids.
Yeah, little ones.
Well, I mean, you take an antibiotic, you kill the microbiome in our gut. And the microbiome in our gut really is the starting point of our immune system. So you treat one thing, but you're harming another part of our body, and that's where we try to look at the whole body as not just multiple pieces like a specialist does. We try to look at you as a whole person and make sure that if we're doing one thing, we're not hurting something else.
Yeah. So with all of that said, you're talking about treating all your different clients with different, depending on what they have, you kind of know the track you're going to go on, and I'm sure if somebody ends up with pneumonia or that sort of thing, you make that adjustment. How does your clinic differ from the majority of clinics out there when it comes to these kinds of cares?
I think the biggest thing is we have time to sit and talk to people. We have time to discuss their symptoms. We have time to review what's going on. How long has this been going on? What kind of symptoms do you have? It's not a 15-minute appointment where I'm actually in the room 7 minutes, but I'm looking at you for 3 because I'm trying to get my note done because I don't want to be doing my notes until 9 o'clock tonight. Another thing I think we do differently a lot of times is we look more at herbals. How can you prevent things like this? Well, start taking some zinc. Bump up your vitamin C. There's a Sambucol, which is an elderberry that our pharmacists when I was in Omaha were very strongly opinionated that people should take that in flu season to help decrease. So we look at those kind of things more so than let's just go right to an antibiotic or let's kind of have a knee-jerk reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest difference, it allows us that time just to sit down. Number one, build a relationship, and then that relationship then leads to trust. So, if I have a patient that lives up at Dunning and they call me with these kind of symptoms, we can talk about, okay, this is what it sounds to me like, or no, I think we better get you an antibiotic. One of the first things I ask is, well, I've had it for 10 days or I've had it for 2 weeks. At any point did you feel like you got better? Because if you feel like you got better and then you got worse, now that's probably a secondary bacterial infection.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, we go right to an antibiotic. But again, we do an antibiotic, then we'll start talking about, let's get a probiotic on board. And let's make sure you get a probiotic that a lot of probiotics people take, 99% of the bacteria is killed in the gut or in the stomach because of the acid. So you need a probiotic that the capsule doesn't dissolve until it gets through the stomach. So things like that, by having the time to be able to sit and really educate. I talk to physicians all the time and tell them we're salesmen, and now they argue that no, I'm never a salesman. But really, people are paying for our knowledge, and so it's by educating, we're sharing our knowledge, and to me, that's the best way to keep people healthy in the long term. It's not that knee jerk. If you want knee jerk, go to see urgent care. Because you're gonna walk in, 99% of the time they're gonna give you an antibiotic. You walk out the door, and you may get better. But if you've had this for 3 or 4 days, and you start the antibiotic, in 2 or 3 days you start getting better, that doesn't mean it was bacterial. It just means your body finally started to fight the virus and got getting over it.
How much of this are you doing? I know you can do a lot of online observations. I'd probably do a little bit more out of the Kearney office than here, I'm guessing, but maybe not.
It's probably maybe a little bit more out of Kearney. Today's a perfect example. Yesterday was a perfect example. The temperature, minus 10 by my handy dandy watch here. Minus 10. How long does it take frostbite to set in? 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Now you add a wind of 10 to 15 degrees. Now it's down to 15 minutes. You add a wind of 20 degrees. Now it's less than 10 minutes. I don't want people out. So it allows us to do a video visit where we can talk about, and I can actually see you and I can see your child, and we can talk about what's going on, and then we make a decision together. Is this something that, I trust moms. Again, time leads relationship leads to trust. And if mom knows her child better than I do, and if mom says, last time we had this, it took an antibiotic to get over it, okay, let's get an antibiotic. So when weather's crappy, we do more video visits.
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want people to get out.
Right.
If it's slick, I don't want people to get out and fall. We have a friend of ours that fell the other day and now has both arms in casts.
Oh, Lord.
Broke both wrists.
Oh, no.
So those are the kind of things that, if you're in the insurance world and I have to see the whites of your eyes in order to bill your insurance, stupid things happen. Where with us, we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
We can take care of you in other ways.
Okay. All right. Boy, I think everybody can relate to what you're saying here this morning. And, of course, some of your elder patients, you certainly don't want them out, period, because of the slick conditions and so forth.
I'm getting more elder. Well, looking at you, you're more elder than I'd hate to have you get out.
I don't want to fall. It's a long ways.
That's why you said Jack outside.
Yeah, he's 20-some years old. He's fit for the job. I noticed, though, you mentioned in the early conversation here, you said our customers. And you also mentioned that, sometimes people don't understand your terminology or your system that you use at Click Family Healthcare. But there's a lot of places in medicine they wouldn't call them their customers. They would call them their patients or whatever.
Patients.
But they are your customers, aren't they?
They are. Healthcare, people don't look as people getting healthcare as being a consumer. And it doesn't matter whether you go into the grocery store, go into the hardware store, you're a consumer. If you don't provide good service, if you don't like what they offer, you go somewhere else. Patient to me implies somebody who is laying in a hospital bed that gets told what to do, when they're going to do it, how they're going to do it. Patients rely on insurance, and patients will go see the worst doctor in town because they're quote unquote in their network. To where we have to provide value, because people take money, hard-earned money, out of their pockets, and they pay us every month. If I don't provide value, and value really is service. And when we talk about doing video visits or text messaging, or you call, 40% of the time I pick up the phone. You're actually getting to talk to somebody. You're not getting the runaround of 5 or 6 people in the office before you finally get an answer, and it comes back through a nurse. Like I always use the example in Geneva. When I was there, a lot of times, 5 people would answer the phone or talk to the person before it ever got to me, and then if I gave a response, it would take 5 people to get it back to the person. Where with us, you call, and if I'm not with a patient, the nurse is transferring to me, we take care of it right then. So consumers are customers. Customers are consumers. Customers look for value, and consumers look for value.
Mm-hmm.
Where patients, unfortunately, don't always look for value just because they're locked into this insurance mentality. And it's not that I'm not pro-insurance. I mean, I have life insurance. I don't ever want to use it, but I have it.
Yeah.
Insurance by definition, and this kind of goes back to my banking days, insurance by definition is a risk mitigation tool. Okay? So you have insurance on your house in case you get in a car, or in case you have a fire, hailstorm. You have insurance on your car in case you get in a car wreck. Why do we have health insurance on primary care? Because primary care is the maintenance medicine. Insurance doesn't pay for you to change the tires on your car, doesn't pay to change the oil on your car, doesn't change to put new shingles on your roof if they wore out, or replace the concrete in your front step if it's broke. And in my mind, that health insurance shouldn't be either. Health insurance should be for those catastrophic things. I need surgery. I fall and I break my wrist and I need to have surgery to fix that. I get diagnosed with cancer. Catastrophic things. However, the way our healthcare system is set up, the general person is priced out of the market because the prices are set by insurance companies and hospitals. And I know we've talked about this before. You need an MRI of your knee. If you walk into, I'm not sure here in Broken Bow, but in Kearney, if you walk into either hospital, it's going to be about $3,000. That's what they're going to bill your insurance. If we log on to a website called mdsave.com and you pay for it up front, it's $485.
Wow.
So what's the difference between $30,000 and we'll just round up to $500? What's that $2,500? That's all the middlemen trying to get their little piece of the pie. A lot of people right now, first of the year, they've been on a medicine XYZ for 2 or 3 years. go to get their medicine refilled, and the pharmacist says, "Oh, sorry, your doctor's going to have to do a prior authorization because this medicine now is no longer on formulary." Well, why is that? Well, it's because the pharmacy benefit management company negotiated with a different pharmaceutical company. So now the doctor and you have to jump through all these hoops to get on a different medicine or to get it, quote unquote, paid for.
Yeah.
I had an example just a couple weeks ago. Omeprazole, Prilosec, a medicine we use when people have reflux, decrease the production of acid. I had a lady that has insurance, went to the pharmacy for a 90-day supply, was going to be over $200. For me to dispense it for her was $12. Generic medicine.
Generic.
200 versus 12.
And I got to say, being a pharmacy anymore, it's an uphill battle.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
They want to serve their customers, and the perimeters have changed all of a sudden, and it's making it tough for smaller and independent pharmacies to survive. I know it used to think that if somebody had a drugstore and there was a pharmacist, they were making a really, really great living. I think it's tougher now. Do you?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Pharmacies are kind of like doctors; they keep getting bought out and are going into a bigger group and things like that. But we see the big box store pharmacies; they're even struggling in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
When you start seeing pharmacies have to add other lines, whether it's cards or gifts or alcohol or whatever. They're doing that to help their bottom line because it's getting tighter and tighter to do it on just the medicine side.
You're old enough to know. I know I'm older than you. I will admit that, but you're old enough to remember drugstores that sold cigars and cigarettes and all sorts of things that now we wouldn't dream would be in a drugstore.
Right.
Are we headed back that way? Someday there'll be some vodka over in the corner.
Well, I think if you go to a Walgreens, I think there is alcohol.
Well, that's true. It's already there.
They took the tobacco out.
Yeah.
A few years ago. I listened to a podcast the other day, which I thought was really interesting. It actually was she was a fifth-year neurosurgery resident. Casey Means was her name, and she quit medicine because nobody was talking about the root cause of problems. Everybody just wanted to do the surgery. Her brother was a lobbyist for big pharma and the tobacco industry. His comment was when the federal government stopped allowing tobacco to advertise on TV, they went and started buying food companies.
Oh, man.
So why do they buy food companies? Because they know sugar's addictive. They know sugar's a drug.
Yeah.
So we can't get addicted on tobacco or advertise that, so now we're going to go this way. Now, that may be an extreme thought process, but this is from somebody who was actually in the industry.
Inside.
So it makes you stop and think.
Yeah.
The one thing I talk about all the time with our customers, especially the one that want to lose weight, want to make a lifestyle change, is sugar has the same effect on the brain as cocaine, same effect on the brain as tobacco, same effect on the brain as alcohol. We get a sugar spike, our body produces insulin, drops our blood sugar, but it drops below where our brain is used to. We have cravings, so we go back and eat. I always use the example of Thanksgiving. You have turkey and you have corn because you're thankful for the harvest. You have to have some stuffing. And, my mom used to put a marshmallow and brown sugar on the sweet potato because it wasn't sweet enough. And then a piece of grandma's pumpkin pie. What do you want to do a half hour later? You want to go take a nap?
Yeah.
That's because our blood sugar has dropped below.
Yeah.
So we wake up from our nap. Even though we're still full, we're craving food. Well, I'm an alcoholic. I drink until maybe I pass out. My blood alcohol level drops below where my brain is used to. What do? I wake up, I crave alcohol. Cocaine, same thing. Nicotine. You ever been around anybody trying to quit smoking?
Yeah.
They get down where that nicotine level drops. So people have to understand sugar's a drug. And so it kind of ties in with what this guy was saying, is that, it's the root of our problems today is our food. And I truly, since we've started our wellness program and I've delved more into that, there's no doubt that our food supply is the biggest culprit in America for our people's health.
It's amazing. You enlightened us on that before. We also have Afif, who is a chef. here in town, and he's come in before and says, hey, a lot of our problems is the food. We can't get anything that's not processed.
Right.
Everything's processed, and it's all got the substitute sugar in it, and the list goes on and on.
The USDA, which regulates food, allows over 100 names for sugar on a food label. So you might look at the food label and say, well, there's no sugar here, but you go home and look, there's probably 2 or 3 different. They're just different names. The chemicals, what are they doing? McDonald's French fry has 16 chemicals or 16 ingredients.
They sure are tasty.
Well, they are, and they won't turn black. But if you keep them for a year and leave them, they won't mold either.
That's scary.
So, I always tell people now, the longer the shelf life of a food, the shorter your life.
That's probably
because
true.
Of the chemicals that are in there. And I argue, why do we see more kids with ADD, ADHD, autism? Why do we see more young people, young girls in their 28, 30-year-old getting breast cancer and young guys getting colon cancer?
Mm-hmm.
It all ties back to our food supply. And if there's one thing that the government could do, or RFK, or whoever you want to talk about, if there's one thing we could do is let's get away from all the pesticides, the herbicides, all of those things, and get back more the way it used to be. And I'm not saying it has to be organic, but we've got to eliminate a lot of these chemicals we're dumping on our food supply.
Yeah. We're going to run out of time, but it's always great to talk to you. You had notes here. Did we cover everything?
Well, yep, we did. I mean, the big thing was the frostbite. The other thing was influenza season, how to treat that. So, we're in the season where fluctuating weather, we see lots of illnesses going around. Fortunately, most of them are viral, but if they aren't, if you're a customer of ours, you will talk to us, and we will try to educate as much as we can. And then if it does turn into bacteria, we'll treat it. But I don't like to prescribe antibiotics unless I know what we're treating, because of there are deleterious side effects to our bodies.
Folks, if you want to talk with Dr. Jacobson about some of the things we've talked about here today, I know he's more than willing to visit with you. And also, if you want to become a member and pay a monthly fee for the kind of care that is offered, talk to your staff or you. And real quick, the hours here in Broken Bow for folks.
We're 8 to 5, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then 8 to noon on Wednesday. We have just hired a PA. So our hours here may be changing a little bit in the spring. We'll just have to see kind of how things work out. So she's very excited to have her come on board. She is very fitness-oriented, say.
Okay.
So, interesting story. She grew up in Loveland, Colorado, went to Concordia College, and told me, I don't know what clicked in my head, but when my first year I realized I should change the way I eat. She left Concordia as a 16-time All-American in cross country and still holds some of their cross country records.
Wow.
So very excited to have her on board. She took 12 years off to raise her family, and now she's getting back in the workforce, and luckily we're fortunate enough that she's going to come work with us.
Sounds like a nice fit. Really does.
It does.
I think I can help you with the frostbite. In my neighborhood, I think if Brent was willing to conduct a test, clean his own driveway and his own sidewalk, and then come over and do Joan and Dave's and my next door neighbors, which I usually take care of, and then sometimes across the street, we help one another out. If we could get Brent out there, say today, in this kind of weather, and have him scoop all of those different walks and driveways, we could really do a very subjective test.
Yeah, you could, try one layer and then 2 layers and 3 layers and see, do his fingers turn black with the first layer or the third layer?
Well, I do know my face is getting really red at the moment, and my blood pressure's going up.
Well,
so there you go. You can start your test right there.
Well, we're glad it's not low.
Yeah.
Well, I always tell my nurses that, my nurses really have never seen me get angry, but If my ears turn red and my cheeks start to get a little red, you know that I'm starting to get there.
We've all
so
been there.
I hear what Brett's saying.
Well, it'll be difficult to tell when he's outside, but when we bring him in after it warms up, we could see if he's still red.
After you thaw him out.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll be right back.
Start your day right or keep it rolling strong at Howdy Coffee in Broken Bow. Dive into breakfast favorites like egg scramble or breakfast sandwiches with their signature kolache dough made in-house daily. They have lunch now for your afternoon hunger. Grilled cheese, soup, Philly sandwiches, or French dips. And for your sweet treat, go with delicious cronuts. Open Monday to Friday 6:30 to 4:30 and weekends 7 to 4. Satisfy your breakfast, lunch, and cravings beyond at Howdy Coffee on West Highway 2 in Broken Bow.
Lashley Land and Recreational Brokers is proud to be servicing the Custer County area, and currently land is moving at a high rate of speed. So if you are considering selling your land, now is the time, or get an opinion of what your land might be worth. Call me, John Farley, at 308-530-7854, or check me out at lashleyland.com.
Attention cattlemen of all ages. Hi guys, this is Renette with the Nebraska Classic down in Kearney. We want to invite cattlemen to bring their families to Kearney the week of February 15th through the 23rd. Judging contest gets underway on Saturday the 15th, but cattlemen, get your calendars marked starting on Wednesday, February 19th is show day. It's also FFA day, so any FFA youth that want to come to the Classic, we've got a great day lined up for you. Thursday, February 20th is a big day. Free cattlemen's lunch at 11 o'clock, followed by sales start promptly at noon on Thursday, February 20th. Remember, the pin bulls will also sell on Thursday the 20th. Friday the 21st will feature the commercial heifer pin sale at 2 o'clock, prospect steer sale, fancy heifer sale. Lots of special events happening at the Classic this year. Plus, you won't be disappointed in lots of new vendors in our commercial trade show. Cattlemen, it's your event coming up February 15th through the 23rd in Kearney.
Johnny Blue Sky's song called Mint Tea, a.k.a. Tyler Childers, on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Well, let's talk a little bit about RT Ace Hardware. They are a fully stocked hardware store, but so much more than a place where you can buy, nuts and bolts and the things you certainly can get at a hardware store. But they have everything you'll need for all sorts of home projects and business projects. When you're looking for things also around the kitchen, such as microwaves, coffee makers, kitchen utensils, home decor, and toys, stop in and see what they offer at RT Ace Hardware. And they have a full line of Milwaukee tools and steel products with a knowledgeable staff to help you get just what you're needing. RT Ace Hardware at 747 South C Street in Broken Bow. And by the way, they're open 7 days a week. And we'll be asking you to call in a little bit later on for a chance to win a $25 gift card to RT Ace Hardware towards the end of the show. So keep listening. Also want to thank our FFA sponsors who are bringing you FFA highlights on KCNI KBBN, and they include Downey Drilling, Meade Lumber, Custer Federal State Bank, Mount Custer Truck Sales, Litchfield Pack, Litchfield, Nebraska, Taylor Heating and Cooling, Power Solutions, Trotter Service, Trotter Fertilizer, and BD, all bringing you the FFA salutes that you're hearing on the air here on KCNI KBBN. So thank you very, very much. Brent Amperson, what's happening as far as changes due to the weather?
Yeah, sure. We'll take a look at the list of weather-related announcements for you now. And Smyrna Public Schools are closed today. Ansley Public Schools are closed. Arcadia Schools closed. Arnold Public Schools are closed today. Blaine County Courthouse in Brewster will be closed today. Broken Bow Schools still posting a 10 o'clock start for today. No morning preschool. Broken Bow Livestock, their special calf and feeder auction has been postponed and rescheduled for February 27th. Callaway Public Schools are closed today. Central Community College learning centers in both Lexington and Ord are closed. Community Connection in Broken Bow will be closed today and tomorrow. Cozad Community School is closed today. Cozad Head Start closed today. Also posting now, Custer Christian School in Broken Bow will be closed today. So Custer Christian School in Broken Bow now closed for today. Dawson County Courthouse in Lexington will be opening at 10 o'clock this morning. Gothenburg Senior Center will be closed today. Other announcements that have been posted on our website through sandhillsexpress.com. Litchfield Public Schools are closed today. Loop City Public Schools are closed. Loop County Schools in Taylor closed today. No school, no activities, it says. Maple Park Dental in Broken Bow showing a 10 o'clock open today. So Maple Park Dental in Broken Bow opening at 10 o'clock this morning. Mid-Plains Community College, Broken Bow campus, and all MPCC locations are closed today. Let's see, Myers Iron and Salvage in Broken Bow closed today and tomorrow due to the extreme cold temperatures. Overton Public Schools are closed today. Prairie Pioneer Center in Broken Bow is closed. Sandhills Public School in Dunning closed today. Sargent Public Schools are closed. Sherman County Senior Center in Loop City will be closed today. Stapleton Public Schools are closed. SEM schools are closed. Thetford Public Schools are closed today. And those are the latest announcements that are posted. Again, you can stay up to date by checking out sandhillsexpress.com. Just go to the weather tab and click on closings.
All right, thank you very much. These reports brought to you by a lot of great businesses, including Custer Public Power, Ansley Lumber, Hunter's Towing, Taylor Heating and Cooling, Fixed Right Auto Body, and Edward Jones. Let's hear from some of those businesses. And also, we have guests set up to come in and talk about the Custer Christian School, so stay tuned. That's coming up.
They grow up so fast, and soon enough they're off to college. But as time goes by, the cost of tuition continues to rise. You know that college is important, but the expenses may seem out of reach. Edward Jones can help. I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Tim McCaslin.
And I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Janet Lawhorn. Let's work together to help you tackle growing college expenses. Call us at 308-872-6849 or visit edwardjones.com to schedule an appointment. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
It happens. We slip, we slide, we run into things. When you come to a stop, don't let that damage hang out on your car. See Todd and the crew at Fixed Ride Auto Body. They'll get you back on the road with your vehicle looking awesome. Living here in central Nebraska, we battle winter weather every year. It wants to make us slip and slide and crash. Fixed Ride is here to help. Fixed Ride Auto Body, 872-6860. We're just north of the tracks on 10th Avenue in Broken Bow.
You're listening to The Breakfast Show. We appreciate that each and every day. Running a little bit behind, so we're going to take a break and come back with our guests and ask them if they would like to stay after the break at the top of the hour if we don't get everything in that we can talk about here today that we should talk about. Also, Mark Stock will be our guest in the 9 o'clock hour, so we'll have him on the air yet, so stay tuned.
You're listening to The Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN Radio.
Calling all cattlemen. We're Austria and Angus, and it's bull sale time.
We invite you to our 24th annual production sale Wednesday, February 19th at 1 p.m. at our ranch south of Ansley.
Selling will be 150 performance-tested, carcass-evaluated yearling Angus bulls. Our bulls are big, growthy, and gentle. Also selling are 60 fancy registered yearling Angus heifers.
For more information and videos of this powerful offering, check us out at austrianangus.com.
Can't wait to see you at our ranch, Austria and Angus Ranch. Let's have a bull sale.
Varney Pharmacy is proud to be your local connection to everything you need to stay healthy or feel better, or for when a gift-giving occasion comes up. They have a great selection of greeting cards and gifts, plus free gift wrapping. They want you to know that they'll be closed this Saturday the 22nd, so please plan accordingly with your prescriptions. They'd love for you to give their new Facebook page a follow. Just search for Varney Pharmacy. Visit Varney Pharmacy, downtown Broken Bow. Just not this Saturday, as they are closed.
Hey Ryan, are you ready for a new year?
I sure am, but there's something I want people to know.
Okay, what's that?
Well, that RTA's Hardware is much more than a place where you can buy what you need for your home projects.
You mean how like we have microwaves?
Yeah, microwaves, coffee makers, kitchen utensils, home decor, toys, disc golf items, the list goes on.
So what you're saying is we have way more than what we can mention in this ad?
That's exactly what I'm saying. See you in 2025.
RTA's Hardware in Broken Bow. Check the aisles for what you're looking for first.
All right, 8:53 is your time, and we have Taylor Ruther with us and John Parsons. I guess you're not going to school today, guys.
No, not today.
All right. Custer Christian School just updating that they'll not be having classes today. Taylor, welcome. Let's start with you. How's things going? I was going to ask you what your official title is, but I thought earlier about that, and I thought I would think maybe it's just about everything would be the title.
Janitor and workhorse. And no, my actual title is that I'm the president of the school board. But I think that we don't have real traditional roles on the school board. I think it's kind of whatever we can do to support people right now, I think. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, we'll just call you the girl that can do everything then.
I think, yeah.
That's absolutely right.
And John, welcome. I don't know if we had you on the breakfast show before.
No, this is the first time I've been on here.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
All right. Now, I'll just ask you to start with what you had on your minds today, what you wanted to highlight, and then we'll ask you all kinds of other questions.
Yeah, we just kind of wanted to do some updates on some things. Our new applications for the 2025-2026 school year are live on the website, which is weird to think about 2025-2026 school year already. But we had some pretty big changes with that. I think like anything, when you start something new, you don't exactly know what the right decisions are with everything. But we've had a lot of feedback from donors and stuff that are supporting the school, and the biggest thing that they want to see is more kids in the school. And so we actually made a decision this year that we are lowering the tuition rate for the elementary school. We want to make it affordable for families and something that, is doable within the budgets of what residents in Custer County can afford. And so our 3-day preschool will be $110 per month. Our 4-day preschool will be $120 per month, and kindergarten is $150 per month. And so we're excited to make that change. We're excited to see more kids, get in the school next year, and hopefully that won't be a hindrance for people. So we're excited about that. Did I get the numbers right, John? I think I'm right about that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay,
You're the one.
If If not, I made an
boss.
executive
You know these
decision
things. Yeah.
to change things on the phone because
We'll
I
have to have
announced
another
it.
board meeting now. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Another meeting. Yeah.
Have a new board meeting because I'm changing things on the radio. But no, I'm pretty sure right about that.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess I would. I'd ask then.
Mm-hmm.
How are you able to do this? Is this because you've had good support from donors and so forth to be able to offer those discounts?
So, the thing that we found is any way you look at this, I think there was some miscommunications with the school that they thought that because we had tuition that we were going to end up becoming more self-sustaining, right? That the tuition would pay for the school. And the reality is, even with what we were asking, it was really only ever going to be about 30% of the budget. Like, we were going to have to fundraise for the rest of it anyways. And so the feedback that we heard from the donors was, if we're going to raise this much money to fundraise the school, then why not have 3 kids versus 1 kid in the school? Like, we want to support more kids. And so that was kind of their attitude, which we're very blessed to have. Now, fundraising is still a continual thing. Like, we are not fully funded. Like, we're still fundraising all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But just the fact that that was their mentality, that, if 3 kids can pay for the same tuition that 1 kid could, we'd rather have 3 kids than 1.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where that attitude came from. And so it was really exciting to be able to sit on meetings with the fundraising committee and ask them to help you raise money, and then have them say, you know what, I think we should make this more affordable for kids. Like, that's not always a mentality that you get a lot. So it was exciting to get that feedback from the donors.
And jump in here, Brent, if you have any questions along the way as well. I guess the thought when you started was we're going to have maybe some kids in a lot of different grades, and then I think you came in and said, you know what, we're going to grow from the beginning.
Right.
We're going to start with kindergarten, and they're going to move up, and then you'll have new kindergartners, and you're going to keep filling the grades as you go, and I'm sure that's part of it too.
Yeah, it's funny. You think you communicate so well on things, and then as we're having donor meetings, you're like, well, no, that wasn't the idea. That wasn't the intention. And so I think a lot of people didn't know if it was like a failure that we only had a couple of grades at the beginning or what, but it was actually intentional.
Mm-hmm.
We followed the leadership of a couple other schools that have started recently, and that's how they started with the younger grades, and then kind of grow their way up every year. So our goal is to add a new grade each year. And so that's kind of the way we're growing it. And it's been exciting to do that. You get to start and really build a good core staff and then add as we grow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
And then you can grow your teachers' needs as you go along as well. So, all right. We got about 1 minute, so we'll take a break here if that's all right with you guys. Do you have any place else you need to be right away?
No.
Okay.
No, it's got
not
cold
in this
out.
delightful weather. I think we'll just stay here in the heat.
Planning on going out and jogging, but oh well.
You go ahead, John. If you want.
I've got a great body for radio.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're here. Yeah, exactly. So we'll take a quick news break, come back, and we can spend a little more time. And John, we want to get your thoughts this morning as well, and more of Taylor's. So stay tuned. I know Brent has some questions because he's pretty interested in kids and Christian schools and that sort of thing. So stay with us. If you need any scooping done at your place, Brent's your guy.
Oh, Brent's the guy. Okay,
talk to him.
Good to know.
I just want to make sure you understand that he's dying to scoop walk somewhere. He's going to leave town here later today.
Maybe in a few minutes, actually. Now that you brought this up, I might leave even earlier than expected.
Stay tuned. News is next.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and his Russian counterpart met in Riyadh today and agreed to restore staffing to respective embassies in Washington and Moscow. Rubio says they'll appoint teams to work on the conflict in Ukraine.
I came away today convinced that they are willing to begin to engage in a serious process to determine how quickly and through what mechanism can an end be brought to this war.
Israel says Hamas will return the bodies of 4 hostages Thursday, including the remains of a mother, Shiri Bibas, and her 2 young sons. The release of 6 living captives is set for Saturday. A polar vortex sends temperatures plummeting from the northern plains to Texas. This man lives in Bowman, North Dakota, where it's minus 26 right now.
It feels like your breath is taken from you, but it's more of like a sting than if you poured cold water on your hand. It's more like a sting.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Steve DeSager.
At hockey's Four Nations face-off in Boston, the U.S., which was 2-0 in the mini-tournament, lost 2-1 to Sweden. The Swedes had already been eliminated thanks to 2 overtime losses. The Americans had already advanced thanks to those 2 early wins. Canada advanced to play the Americans in Thursday's championship thanks to a 5-3 victory over Finland. The Canadians were up 4-0 in the third period. The NBA is off until Wednesday's makeup game, Hornets at Lakers. In men's college basketball, number 3 Duke was a winner at Virginia, 80-62. Duke's record now 23-3. 19th ranked Arizona was a winner at Baylor, 74-67. Auburn is ranked number 1 for the 6th straight week. Florida is up to number 2. The new number 1 in women's basketball, Notre Dame beat number 11 Duke, and number 8 ranked Ohio State won in overtime against Iowa. Mike Trout of the Angels is switching to right field to try to stay healthy after 14 years in center.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Extreme cold warning continues until noon Thursday. A winter weather advisory continues until 6 p.m. tonight. Snow likely today, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Highs level off around 3 below. Northeast winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. 1 to 2 inches of snow today through tonight. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Gateway Motors, Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Head to East Highway 2 in Broken Bow to visit with their friendly staff, schedule service with their experienced service department, or swing in for quick lube service. Visit GatewayMotorsBrokenBow.com.
Hey folks, it's getting warmer out there. It's 9 below zero, and we were at 10 below all morning long, so we're warming up to 9 below. Wind chill right now, though, folks, 23 below zero, so be very, very careful out there. And that is at dangerous levels out there, so make sure you're dressed and covered up and ready for that kind of temperature feel to the skin. All right, back to our guests here. We have Taylor Ruther with us, who is the everything person and head of the president of the school board of the Custer Christian School. We have John Parsons here as well, and we're talking about what new plans are to make more classes available to more kids. That's the goal here. John, I guess we'll go to you now. And again, if you have any questions, Brent, jump in. But how did you get involved with Custer Christian School to start with?
Well, that was not on my radar about 2 years ago, but this young lady to my left gave me a call, wanted to know if I'd be interested in taking part in that. And I knew nothing about schools or Christian schools. So I naively said yes, and it's been a ride ever since. But I'm vice president on the board, and I guess if I have any other jobs, it's janitorial more than anything else. One reason I'm really excited about having school closed today is because I don't have to go scoop the walks, Brent.
Ah,
I was
there
gonna,
you go.
I was going to
All
have
right.
you do that, no, it's been very interesting. It's definitely a ministry, and I'm in ministry, of course, and that just kind of fits right in. That one thing we've kind of emphasized throughout this, and particularly now that we're kind of changing our model for fundraising and whatnot, is that the Custer Christian School really is a mission project. In most churches and most communities, we think of missions being something that's overseas, it's somewhere else. And, one of the very vital mission projects that I think we have is right here in our backyard. It's with, getting the gospel, getting the Christian education into the young people that are in our own communities. So we've been trying to emphasize that, that this is why we are changing our project into being more of a donation-driven. Because it is a mission project. So.
Okay, all right. And have you enjoyed? I know that you kind of probably upset the apple cart a little bit from what you was planning on getting involved in this, but have you enjoyed it?
Oh, absolutely. This has been enjoyment has maybe different ways of looking at it. There's things about this that haven't been so enjoyable, that's for sure. Cleaning up a school that had been abandoned for 2 years, that was an interesting project, but we had so much help. We had so many great volunteers kick in and help with the project. We had contractors that worked hard at getting everything put back together again, and it's been just really good to see all the support we've had from the other, community members and stuff like that. But no, that's probably been the most difficult part is just getting that facility up and running and whatnot. But again, that's been a joy too, though, because that's a facility that has so much history in this community, and I think a lot of people were really excited when they found out we were going to be keeping it as a school.
Yeah. Yeah, I hated to hear talk about it not being there anymore, and to have it there, and all of the memories that people have with that building. And again, I think you'd still agree that it's probably one of the most solid buildings in town.
That is a fortress. That is a great building.
We will take donations to heat the gym.
Yes,
if anybody would like to volunteer to heat the gym when it's negative 23 outside, because that sucker is a beast.
That is a lot of airspace to heat up, isn't it? Yeah.
Not a lot of insulation in the bricks.
That's true. Remember it well, because I went to school there.
It's cold in there.
Yeah. Brent, you have any questions?
Well, you mentioned looking at it as a ministry, and I'm sure that your staff kind of feels like that too. They're not just teaching, but they're ministering as well. Talk a little bit about your staff for this opening year.
Yeah, one of the few perks that teachers have is that they have a good retirement in this state. I truly feel like that our teachers in public school in this state, they're just very underfunded for what they do and what they provide. And so one of their few benefits is their retirement account. And I don't think what people understand, when you come teach for a private school, you give your rights to that up. And you're no longer eligible for that. And so I think it's amazing to have the teachers and stuff that we do that choose to teach in our school and choose to educate, because that's where they want to be. And so they're there because they like to get to talk about why we put a star on the top of the tree at Christmas, and they like to teach the kids how to sing the Christian carols for the Christmas concerts. And every day my daughter's in preschool there, and so every day I come in and Tammy is finishing up, the Bible lesson for the day. And that's how they've learned their letters. Like M stood for manger, and that's what they learned over Christmas. And so we're extremely grateful. And then just the feedback we've gotten, we don't have a lot of kindergartners, but the feedback that we've gotten, like they're reading and they're excelling and they're doing really well in the classroom. And like that's, due to our teachers. Like Mary is a very, very good teacher. And so we're very grateful to have them.
I would think also it's, they always talk about in public schools how many kids to a teacher, how many kids the teachers are working with, and they always say the lower the numbers, a student is per teacher, or the other way around. is a benefit. So you have that to offer.
Yes. Yep. You know, we have a set number. We won't go over 15 kids to a teacher. So you're always going to have a lower classroom number. Maybe not compared to some of our rural schools, but like compared to Class C schools and stuff like that, we're always going to have a smaller number per teacher.
Okay, so this is February 18th, and we're in the middle of a cold spell, but we're going to blink, and it's going to be spring, and then it'll be time to let the kids out of class. But I think what we're talking about here today is for folks out there to start thinking about next year in enrollment, right?
Yep, it'll be open through second grade next year. That's what our capacity is for our teachers. So we'll have first year preschool. One of the main differences next year is that we've changed the format up with the preschool a little bit. So it used to be both first and second year preschoolers went 3 days a week. This year, our second year preschoolers are eligible to go 4 days a week. So it's kind of like a stepping stone. I know from personal experience with my daughter, what she knew last year as a first year versus what she's capable of knowing now is completely different. And so we want to be able to challenge those second year preschoolers a little bit more. And then kindergarten obviously is 5 days a week. Other than that, our gala. Our gala is coming up on March 29th. So that will be our first annual fundraising gala. So it'll be a silent auction and live auction at the Cobblestone. So we're selling tickets and tables for that. If you guys want to come out, it's going to be a nice plated meal, served meal. So we're excited about that. Or if people have random things in their businesses or garages they want to donate, we'll also take that too.
We've already had several donations of some pretty interesting gifts. One is a week at a condominium in Florida.
Which would be really nice right now.
Well, yeah. I have a feeling we might get in line on a day like this. I think other people might be doing that. But no, it's free of charge other than travel down there, basically. So that's been offered. We have one of those little electric four-wheeler razors is what they're called, that's been donated. We're also going to have an auction or a raffle of a Henry Golden Boy rifle, one of those lever action rifles, kind of a memento piece. So that's going to be offered as well. So we've got several real neat things that have been offered to be auctioned off or to be donated.
Okay. That's on the 29th, which is a Saturday. We checked the calendar.
Of March.
March, yeah.
I don't know if we're on a leap year. I have no idea how that works for February, but so March 29th.
March 29th, yes. Thanks, Brent. And if people want to get tickets to the event or they want to make a donation, how do they go about doing that?
Yeah, so just go to the Custer Christian School. Just call the school and talk to Katie at the office. She'll have the tickets and all the information for the donation. Do you have the phone number? I should have this. Look at this. He has it all pulled up for me. Phone number is 308-767-2096.
All right, guys. Anything else that we didn't ask you about that you wanted to highlight this morning?
No, I mean, honestly, the biggest thing is just that the applications are live. They're live on the website, or if you just want a printed copy, they have copies at the school. You can just stop in and grab one, and those are for preschool. The homeschool program will be live next year. That's also new. That's $50 a month, 2 days a week for about 3 hours or 2.5 hours.
Okay.
And that's art, music, and PE class. So we open that up. Next year, we want to, partner with those families that really believe, in what homeschool can do for their families, but be able to provide the opportunities to participate in things like the Christmas concerts and activities for PE and art class that we can do as well. So those applications are live, and like I said, that's $50 a month for the homeschool program.
Okay, very good. Having attended the Christmas program this year, you're going to have probably have to add on to the gymnasium.
Yeah, we're going to need risers for the parents in the stage area.
Yeah, we filled the place up. It was a beautiful night.
It was great. Kids had a great time. Parents and grandparents all in that building, and to see it all full again like that was a real treat. Really was.
Yeah, we're going to have overflow rooms.
Well,
next year.
Or you might have to have the kids do, multiple performances or something like that.
Buy your tickets for your Christmas concert performance.
There you go. Part of your fundraising.
Yeah, part of our fundraising.
See?
Parents got to buy tickets to the concert.
There you go. All right. Before we close, John, I have to ask you a question because I happened to catch one of your sermons during a funeral service a few years ago. And you were talking about horses and being a veterinarian at one time, or still probably have your.
Well, no, I don't carry a license anymore.
Okay, all right. So do you still have horses?
Oh yes,
yeah,
we've got a few. That's my wife's pet project. We never get rid of them.
Yeah. Well, they say all they ever do is eat. So
absolutely, that's all these ever do. Because neither one of us do much riding anymore. So,
it was a great sermon. I remember the parallel that you put together with it all. So, thanks for that. I just curious if you were still in the horse business.
No. When the Lord kind of called me into ministry, I decided it was probably time to kind of stop the veterinary side of things. But it was a great profession. I loved it. But honestly, what I love most about that was being able to get out in the country and meet people.
Yeah.
So now I'm just meeting people in a different venue.
Yeah.
So.
And now you're scooping walks up at the school.
Scooping walks and
putting heaters to make sure our pipes don't freeze.
Yeah, we're gonna
today.
That's what we're gonna work on today. But,
yeah.
but there's, and I get to take part in the chapel services. We rotate through several churches, but. That's just such a joy dealing with those with 3 boys in the kindergarten class, and they're so fun. It's been really great.
So, well, thanks for coming in, guys. Appreciate it. Come back anytime. And Taylor, I think the girls are doing quite well out there. So.
Yeah, I haven't heard any screaming since the break, so I think we're okay right now.
So.
Hey, before we close out this segment, I believe Kling Financial is paying for this time that we get to visit with you. So thanks to them for doing that.
Yeah, glad you brought that up. And by the way, my car was out in front of their establishment yesterday and was, how would I call it, marked?
Yeah, Dave comes back, and we as a staff happen to look out the window, and we look at his car, and he's got designs painted on his windows, like a heart, and I want to say a star or something.
And a number 1.
Yeah.
And it was sprayed on the windows. And there was a person that darted out from Klang Financial, darted back in, and when I got to the car, my car had been graffitied.
Yeah.
But I really think James planned on being in here this morning, but I got a message from him this morning saying, I'm stuck at home this morning. So I don't know if that means literally stuck or what happened there, but he wasn't able to get out. So.
All right. Well, we appreciate Klang's support for this and for getting you guys on the air. Thanks a lot. We'll take a break with a report from Mark Stock.
Well, good Tuesday morning, everybody. Mark Stock here with Big Iron Auction Company. Today is the Hollingsworth Farms, LLC, real estate auction. Land by Dighton, Kansas. 472 acres will be selling to the highest bidder. Mike Campbell and Kyle Campbell are the real estate agents that are handling this transaction. The land located in Lane County, Kansas. This land will sell at 11 o'clock today. Please get a hold of Mike or Kyle if you have more questions. And this afternoon at 1 o'clock, folks, is the Simmental Angus bred cow sale and some high-performing Simmental and Angus breeding bulls. Grant Lease is a seller. Stuart Vaughn is a seller. Tanner Groves will be selling. Ben Baldwin also selling some really nice bulls. Check it all out. Mark Harstick is also a seller on today's sale. Cody Kuster, MP Cattle Company. James Shearer. Mark Hintz will be selling animals today as well. Mark is by Hebron, Nebraska, and they've got 17 Simmental and Simmental Angus bulls that are selling today. Cody Johnson by Veteran, Wyoming will be selling 8 Red Angus bulls. These have got the Flatiron genetics. And Bede Red Angus from Chambers, Nebraska will be selling some really nice Red Angus bulls today as well. And on Wednesday, be ready for the machinery, folks. Selling from Bide Gain Farms, LLC from Tucumare, New Mexico. Late model John Deere equipment. Emma Crick Farms, LLC. They're from Canton, Kansas. They are retiring. They have a 2004 Kenworth T800 semi-truck, as pretty as you'll find them, plus a 1988 Kenworth T600 with a box and hoist. Old Farms from Palmer, Kansas will sell a Gleaner S77 combine, a John Deere 9120 four-wheel drive tractor. They have Gleaner, Draper, and corn heads to fit on that machine. BMB Farms, LLC from Atkinson, Nebraska. They'll have 52 items selling on Wednesday. A Case IH 8120 combine, Orthman 12-row 30 strip tiller, Case IH 5400 series grain drill, and a like new Haybuster 2650 series bale processor. Please check out that equipment at Sells by Atkinson, Nebraska here on Wednesday. Loop County Roads by Taylor, Nebraska will be selling a 2001 GMC C8500 tandem axle dump truck. Omaha Public Power District by Elkhorn, Nebraska. 32 items on the sale this Wednesday. A 2017 Ford F350 XLT Super Duty 4x4 crew cab utility truck will sell. They have some Ford Escape 4x4 SUVs that will sell. They have a Ram 5500 4x4 crew cab dually with a flatbed. They've also got a Genie GR15 electric self-propelled vertical man lift, a Ford E450 Super Duty cutaway cargo van, a 2011 Ford F250 XLT Super Duty 4x4 extended cab pickup. It's got a snow plow mounted right on the front. They have several other items, folks, from Omaha Public Power District by Elkhorn, Nebraska, selling on Wednesday. And then on Thursday this week, 307 acres of Merrick County, Nebraska land will sell in 2 tracts for Brown 5 Ag LLC, Jacob and Krista Brown. This land, folks, in Merritt County, located by Central City, Nebraska, will sell, and Rex Mahoney is the real estate agent that is handling this transaction. There are 2 parcels. Tract 1 is 151.23 acres, and Tract 2 is 156.69 acres. If you go to the Big Iron website, you'll be able to look at all of the drone video footage, all of the aerial maps, and all the information about the irrigation systems that are on these farms. Rex will be at the Ramada Midtown Conference Center in Grand Island, Nebraska, on Thursday, as this auction is scheduled to close at 10 a.m. unless it goes into a bidding extension or to an overtime period. Once again, this auction here takes place on February the 20th on Big Iron. Folks, if you are planning an auction of machinery, of livestock, of land, we encourage you to pick up the phone and give us a call here at 402-276-2077 or toll free 1-800-937-3558. We would love to come out and visit with you, look at the items that you would like to sell, and discuss what your goals are. Once again, all you have to do is pick up the phone and call us at 1-800-937-3558. That's 1-800-WE-SELL-8. Thank you very much for trusting and using BigIron.com.
When it's time to choose a residual herbicide for your soybeans, you need broad-spectrum weed control that lasts. Zidua Pro and Zidua SC herbicides by BASF give your crop up to 2 more weeks of residual weed control, providing 50% more control than other Group 15 residuals. The long-lasting herbicide portfolio protects your soybeans from even the toughest weeds while providing a steady growing environment for the entire season. Talk to your retailer today about adding Zidua Pro and Zidua SC herbicides to your 2025 plan. Always read and follow label directions.
Have you been to agriamerica.com? What are you waiting for? One site, one app, one stop for 24-hour ag news and podcast. Ag news from the best reporters and podcasters, plus a steady stream of country hits for free. Agri-America, the place for timely, accurate, and dependable ag news. From the cab to the truck to the barn to the kitchen, Agri-America is ready to arm you with the knowledge you need as a farmer or rancher. Grab your smartphone and get it today. Agri-America.
You're listening to The Breakfast Show live here on KCNI KBBN, running a little late today with all the announcements and so forth, and we'll run through those one more time for you before we close the show. Also, we are going to be giving you a chance to win that $25 gift card to RTA's Hardware in just a little bit. I do want to note that I discovered this morning, Brent Apperson, as I went into the KCNI studio, Studio A, you've had quite an influence on Jack Simpson.
Okay, now the scary question is, what kind of influence, positive or negative?
Hair goop.
Hair goop. I don't put goop in my hair. I spray it quick so it doesn't fly all over the place.
Jack,
But I don't put goop. To me, hairspray is not goop.
let me just look across to Studio A. Jack, is that goop or spray? Goop? He had goop in there.
Wow. Okay.
A lot of times he wears a cap or a hat, and he didn't have it on today, and he was sitting down. I walked by to check the weather chart, and I thought to myself, Jack's hair looks goopy.
Ah.
And so he's admitting to the fact that he's put goop in there. Big news.
Yes, I guess so.
All right, we're going to take a look at the postponements and cancellations here one more time. I don't know if there's been anything new, Brent, but if there has been, let us know.
All right, I've hit the refresh button. So here we go. And Somerville Public Schools closed today. Ansley Schools are closed. Arcadia Public Schools closed. Arnold Public Schools closed today. Blaine County Courthouse in Brewster closed today. Broken Bow Schools, a 10 o'clock start today, no morning preschool. Broken Bow Livestock announcing that their special calf and feeder auction has been postponed and rescheduled for February 27th. Callaway Public Schools are closed today. Central Community College Learning Centers in Lexington and Ord are both closed. Community Connection in Broken Bow is closed today and tomorrow. Cozad Community School is closed today. Cozad Head Start closed. Custer Christian School in Broken Bow now closed today. The Dawson County Courthouse in Lexington will be opening at 10 o'clock. Gothenburg Senior Center is closed today. Let's see, some other announcements that we have been informed of. Lexington Public Schools are closed today, but they will have parent-teacher conferences there from 1 to 6 today. Let's see, Litchfield Public Schools are closed today. Loop City Public Schools closed. Loop County Public Schools are closed. Maple Park Dental in Broken Bow will be opening at 10 o'clock this morning. Mid-Plains Community College Broken Bow campus is closed today. Myers Iron and Salvage in Broken Bow closed today and tomorrow due to the extreme cold temperatures. Overton Public Schools are closed today. Prairie Pioneer Center in Broken Bow is closed. Sandhills Public Schools in Dunning closed. Sargent Public Schools are closed. Sherman County Senior Center in Loop City closed today. Stapleton Public Schools are closed. SEM schools are closed. Thetford Public Schools are closed today, and those are the weather-related announcements that we have at this time.
Thank you, Brent, and thank you, sponsors, for making these reports available. They include Fixed Right Auto Body, Edward Jones, Taylor Heating and Cooling, Hunter's Towing, Ansley Lumber, and Custer Public Power.
Taylor Heating and Cooling, LLC, the guys you call when you're sweating and want to be chilly, or shivering when you want to be warm. Based in Broken Bow, Taylor Heating and Cooling offers the area affordable service, repairs, and installation. Whether residential, commercial, or new construction, they welcome the opportunity to work for you. Give them a call and ask about their many services. 872-6196 or visit TaylorHeatingandCoolingBB.com. Whether you need your motorcycle towed or your semi towed, Hunter's Towing has the equipment and know-how to get you off the side of the road. Save this number in your phone now. You never know when you'll need to call Hunter, 870-1983. That's 870-1983 for Hunter's Towing. He's ready to hit the road at any time to help you out of a jam. Based in Berwyn, serving Custer County and beyond. Hunter's Towing at 870-1983.
Just like technology and all of this talk about AI, the world of construction and home design is always evolving too. At Ansley Lumber and Supply, they are committed to having the very latest in materials as well as the tools you need to tackle the job. Wanting to get in on the barn-dominium craze? Well, Ansley Lumber and Supply has everything from the plans and framing to the windows, insulation, and shingle material you need. If your project is a little smaller than building a new home, they have what you need for those too. Ansley Lumber and Supply. Visit them on Main Street in Ansley.
Custer Public Power encourages you to get energy-wise today. with program incentives for homeowners, businesses, and ag to cover the cost of upgrades. If insulation in your attic is lacking and you add some, you can receive a rebate of 30 cents per square foot up to $300. To be eligible, you just have to have a heat pump, electric furnace, or electric heat. Contact Custer Public Power to learn how you can receive this money incentive with EnergyWise.
And again, thank you to all our sponsors making our reports and updates available to you concerning weather-related issues out there. Appreciate that very much. We have a few more things we want to tell you about before we close the show, and we're going to jump right in here and bring you the information. Brubaker's Coffee House and Gifts in Arnold is filled to the brim with new items in their shelves, and they would like you to stop by and see what's new at Brubaker's. They also, of course, want you to have a cup of coffee when you're at the Coffee House in Arnold. They're open Tuesday through Friday from 8 until 5 and Saturday from 9 until 3. Stop in for a hot or cold drink, enjoy baked goods, and sip while you shop. That's Brubaker's in Arnold, where you can find something for everyone, and you can be assured they'll be preparing for St. Patrick's Day coming up here very soon.
Do you struggle with your hearing and or worry about missing out on conversations with family and friends at gatherings? Well, if so, make sure you stop in to see Roxanne with the Nebraska Land Hearing Center. She can help, offering extended discounts for new and returning patients for just staying local. And here's a big key, pricing available to fit all budgets. So like we always say, don't let the fear of what it might cost deter you from getting your hearing checked. No need to travel outside of the area. Roxanne sells the top technology available in the world right here in Broken Bow. So give her a call today to set up your appointment, 308-384-3852. Again, the number 308-384-3852. You'll find their office in the Broken Bow Chamber Building in downtown Broken Bow.
Another job opening here. Nebraska Department of Transportation is currently looking to fill a office specialist position, and they would like you to apply if you have skills in that area to support the staff in the Broken Bow office. Full-time job description or application, you need to go to statejobs.nebraska.gov. An online state application must be completed. The state of Nebraska is an equal opportunity veterans preference employer. So again, this is an opening for a office specialist position to provide office support to the staff here in Broken Bow for the Nebraska Department of Transportation.
Another job opportunity that you'll find on sandhillsexpress.com on the employment page, Tri-S Ag is looking for a detail-oriented office assistant to join their farming operation. If you have strong computer skills and enjoy working in a dynamic environment, they would love to hear from you. It's a part-time position, approximately 30 hours per week. Computer proficiency is required, friendly and professional work atmosphere. They are located east of Myrna on Victoria Springs Road. And if you'd like to find out more, call this number, 308-643-2487. Again, that's 308-643-2487. Also, feel free to stop by their office to apply. That's Tri-S Ag.
All right, tomorrow, a very important event takes place at the Myrna School at the Activities Building, a blood drive in honor of Kyle Stringham. Kyle Stringham has been dedicated to serving our community in many different ways through volunteering, and he also donated blood until along came a health hazard that set him back. A recent cancer diagnosis led him from a transition from being a blood donor to being a blood recipient. As part of his treatments, Kyle has needed several blood transfusions and receiving numerous units of blood. Now he and his family are asking our community to donate at a blood drive held in his honor, and this will be tomorrow from 12:30 p.m. until 6:30 p.m. at the Myrna School Activities Building. You can also schedule an appointment by calling Leanne Winchester at 308-643-7205. That's 643-7205, or go online to redcrossblood.org. That's www.redcrossblood.org, and enter the sponsor name, and that is MERNANE. And just one way or another, get to that blood drive if you can. It is a blood drive in honor of Kyle Stringham and his family, who were asking you to make your donation.
Well, this week will mark the third Thursday of February, and every third Thursday of the month, they do their special Sip and Shop at Rustic and Red in Cozad. So it's coming up this Thursday. Sales will run all day from 10 to 7. The sipping will start at 4 o'clock. And here's some of the special things going on during the day. Up to 60% off select ladies' winter apparel. And then all day you can earn gift certificates based on what you spend. So spend $50 to $90 and earn a $5 gift certificate. You spend $100 to $149, earn a $15 gift certificate. $150 to $199 in purchase, earn a $20 gift certificate. And if you spend over $200, you earn a $30 gift certificate. Some of the special things he'll be doing this Thursday at Rustic and Red in Cozad. So sales going on, a chance to register for their door prize will run all day, plus everyone gets a valuable coupon to use on their next visit. So enjoy the third Thursday of the month this week at Rustic and Red in Cozad for their Sip and Shop.
The mobile food pantry is coming to Broken Bow, available free of charge, a big box of food that can be used for your family or your neighbors, coming in on Saturday, February 22nd, and they'll start at 9 a.m., and they'll be here while supplies last. They will be doing this out at the Custer County Fairgrounds, as they have been recently, and they would ask that you come out at 9. Don't come out early. They got to get everything set up. Now, the Crossroads Mission Avenue is now taking this over. If you'd like more information about it, call 402-303-8761 or stop by the store on the east side of the square in Broken Bow. They're also looking for volunteers, so if you want to talk to them about that, call them at 402-303-8761. But again, the mobile food pantry coming to Broken Bow at the Custer County Fairgrounds this Saturday, starting at 9 a.m.
If I can, we'll take just a moment and kind of update you on our sports coverage for this week. Things have kind of changed a little bit with our sports coverage, especially of high school basketball, because of the weather situation this week. Today, we will be at the D27 Girls Subdistrict Basketball Tournament in Myrna, and they have changed the start times for those games. We're told now that the first game of the day between Anselmo Myrna and Elba will tip off at 5 o'clock, and then following that at around 5:30, it'll be SEM against Central Valley. So we'll have live coverage of both games today from the D27 Subdistrict Tournament in Myrna. We'll start with Anselmo Myrna against Elba, now tipping at 4, followed by SEM against Central Valley. We'll have coverage of the games on the radio, KBBN 95.3 FM, KBBN.com, and we'll also do a live video stream of today's games as well that you can access through SandhillsExpress.com on the Sand Hills Express Facebook page and Sand Hills Express YouTube channel. Also this week, we'll be providing live coverage of Broken Bow girls basketball as they compete in the C18 Subdistrict Tournament at Milford. Now, things have changed a little bit with that tournament. The opening game between St. Paul and Cozad will take place today now. So because of that, things have just kind of been pushed back a day. So the schedule right now is showing Broken Bow versus Grand Island Central Catholic in Milford tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So we will have coverage of that game for you tomorrow on KCNI 96.3 FM and KCNI 1280.com. Meanwhile, we'll be traveling down to Omaha for you today to get set up for coverage of state wrestling beginning tomorrow. We'll be live in Omaha from the CHI Health Center tomorrow, starting bright and early in the morning as we bring you final day coverage of the girls' state wrestling tournament. They actually begin with some opening round matches in the quarterfinals today, but they'll pick action up tomorrow with the first round of consolation. So we'll come on the air and we'll have all of our area competitors on the air for you tomorrow with at least one match broadcast live for you as we'll start coverage with the first round of consolations tomorrow morning from the CHI Health Center in Omaha. So we'll have coverage of girls wrestling through the day tomorrow, and all of that will be on KBBN 95.3 FM and KBBN.com. And then, of course, we'll have full coverage of the boys tournament Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All of our state wrestling coverage can be heard on KBBN.